Hello, it's DEVORAH from the Wise Woman Path. How are you today? I am here to talk to you about your intuition. Are you someone who wants to get more in touch with your intuition? Is that something that's important to you? Do you feel like you're intuitive? Do you feel like if you listen to your intuition more, you would be happier? You'd make better decisions. You would be more aligned with your priorities and your values, and you would feel more at peace. You'd feel more energized. You'd sleep better. You'd question and doubt yourself less. You'd feel less depressed and less anxious. If you say yes to any of those questions, then you are like every single client that I have ever worked with. So anybody who is drawn to working with me is certainly going to be interested in something on the intuitive, empathic, spiritual, or energetic lines. That's who I am, and that's what I do. So if this is speaking to you, we're going to talk today about how to get in touch with your intuition. But let's start with, what is your intuition? Your intuition is what I like to refer to as that still small voice inside of you. That sense of knowing that inner guidance, that sense of what's aligned with you, that sense of your voice that has sort of pushed away other people's beliefs, society's values that don't resonate with you, that sense of you knowing what is right. And your intuition will guide you, not necessarily to everything that's going to work out so perfectly, but to what is aligned and right for you at that moment. It might even be a matter of the lesson you need to learn, or the experience that you need to have, or the contribution that you need to make. So I want to give you an example of intuition. And this is a true story. When my son was in pre-K, my son Josh, who's 13 now and in 7th grade, when he was in K1, when he was 4 years old, I was very happy with the school where he went. And I had strep throat one February afternoon, and I was sitting on my couch, and I literally heard a voice saying out of nowhere, I was not thinking about changing schools for him, not unhappy about anything, now you must check out the Rashi school. I'm looking around, I'm thinking, is someone else in the room with me? I just heard a voice. I don't think it was my voice. I don't know if it was God's voice. I don't know if it was spirit or goddess or who was guiding me, but I knew that that was my intuition guiding me to check out something. Then the voice did not say he must go to the Rashi school. It said, now you must check it out. So I walked over to the computer. I typed in the Rashi school. I got their phone number and I called. Now, wouldn't you know that the applications were due the end of that week, and the interviews for incoming kindergartners, which is what he would have been, were due at the end of the next week. It was a school that I knew about. It's a private Reformed Jewish day school. It was something that I knew about when I got pregnant. It might be something that I'd consider for my child because religious education is important to me. And so I said, okay, I have to apply. So I applied for him, and then we scheduled an appointment. And he had an interview the next week, and the following week he was accepted, and he's been going to that school for 8 years, and it's a much better school for him than had he stayed on the track in the school that worked for him when he was in pre-K, when he was 4 years old. I don't know, folks, where this came from. This was my intuition, all kinds of energy and thoughts and unconscious, and maybe something that I had seen or heard. Maybe it was a year earlier, maybe it was 10 years earlier. This was what I call intuition. There was this strong guidance. Now, for me, I hear the voice. And for me, it comes in the upper right-hand corner of the field in front of me. That's where the voice comes from. It's always, if I were to draw a box in front of me, from my direction, it's the upper right-hand corner. For you, I don't know how it will come. But there are times when you can get quiet enough that you can listen to your intuition. There are times when you're in the middle of an experience, and this for me, I wasn't trying to decide anything, it just came to me, that you may listen to that guidance and pay attention to where your body feels aligned. Pay attention to where there's a voice that comes in emphatically, clearly, slowly. It has a different feel and sound to it, doesn't it? It comes like my intuitive voice sounds different. It feels different. I receive the message differently. There's a rightness that happens. And this is something that you can learn. And there are times, let me know if there are times that you had an intuitive sense and you listened to it. Tell me when you've had an intuitive sense and you haven't listened to it, because I've certainly had that as well, where there's an override that happens. Well, that doesn't make any sense. Just imagine if I said, oh, we're happy in the school where he's going. I don't need to listen to that. You know, I trust from enough times not listening to my intuition, when something comes that emphatically and clearly, I need to listen. So when have you heard intuition? And what has it done for you to listen? And if you were to be guided by your intuition on a daily basis, on an annual basis, what kinds of decisions would you make? What kinds of fears might you overcome? What sense of truth and defiance against something that, you know, might be pressure from someone or something else, might you actually listen to? So trusting yourself and knowing how to listen to your intuition requires a couple of things. One is having some time to be quiet and ask to hear it. You know, just in general, having that quiet time, perhaps in meditation, perhaps when you're doing a yoga practice, it might be when you're in the shower or before you go to sleep, it might be when you're journaling. I'm a swimmer, so when I swim, that voice and that sense, I might just check in and ask myself what's bubbling up. So those repetitive times, repetitive motions, if you run, if you swim, in water, if you're out in nature, and those rituals that you set up for the true voice to come. The other time is when you're actually looking to make a conscious decision and asking, you know, how should I decide? And are you somebody who thinks? Do you feel? Do you sense? Do you listen to your spirit? How do you make that decision? So letting your intuitive voice come on demand or asking for it is another thing that you can do. And the other is through, as I was saying before, through writing, doing what's called automatic writing. And Julia Cameron, in her beautiful book called The Artist's Way, talks about morning pages. She says, first thing in the morning, just dump 3 pages. Whatever's in your brain, just dump it. And let me tell you, when I have done that, and it could be 3 pages, it could be 3 paragraphs, it could be 3 sentences, it could be 3 words. The truth comes out when you just get past that conscious thinking. And there's so many truths that lie underneath. And getting down to those layers where you can listen to that voice, we can feel the energy, you feel the feelings emotionally, you feel it through your body, and getting all that aligned is when you know that you're plugging into your intuition. So I celebrate you. I encourage you to practice, to ask, to learn the skills. It is like anything, you know, if you wanted to strengthen that bicep, you would hold a barbell and you would just move it. You would use that muscle to get it stronger. It's the same thing with your intuition. And if you are someone who's on the spiritual path, if you are someone who wants to be guided spiritually, you are someone who wants to plug into your intuition, and you feel that sense of I'm not on the right path, or I'm not happy, or I'm not satisfied in the work that I'm doing, or the choices I'm making, the relationships I'm in my health, the way I feel about myself, then I encourage you to get into alignment to listen to your intuition. If you'd like to join me for spiritual coaching, this is the #1 thing that we work on. This is the foundational piece on which all of the other coaching is built. So I have amazing offerings in the Wise Woman Path Spiritual Coaching Program. Happy to answer questions for you. And tell me about your intuition. Tell me somebody you know who's intuitive, who you admire, and what resonated with you about this, and what more do you want to learn? I am here for you. This is an exciting topic to me. You can see how excited I am, and it's something that I'm eager to teach and something that I'm eager to mentor, because it is something that, like I said, that muscle you can use to strengthen, and it's something that you can learn via apprenticeship. It's something that I have learned with my guides and my teachers and my mentors. And I am, you know, gratefully passing it along to you. So this is my message: is your intuition is there. It's important. It's the still small voice inside, and it will guide you. It will guide you correctly. You will know that you are on the right path. And I celebrate you for listening, for being in touch with yourself, and for caring about your journey consciously, and not just letting the river of life just take you wherever it goes, but saying, I'm going to consciously learn and focus and deepen my experience so that my life becomes worth living. So as Thoreau, I can't think of his first name, can't think of Thoreau's first name right now. I want to say Ralph Waldo Emerson, but David Thoreau, whatever Thoreau's first name is, I can't think of it. He said, so when I come to die, I would not find that I had not lived. I'll say that again. So when I come to die, I will not find that I had not lived. So I want you to plug in and be on your right path, to be on the wise woman path. Blessings to you. Mwah. I look forward to hearing from you. I look forward to serving you, and join me again on the wise woman path. Bye-bye for now.